Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Living World of Darkness, Mage the Resurgence, where in the Chantry of New York City, after a fairly tumultuous few days, um, we'll start outside just because it's me introing. Jack is, he's sat outside in the spring sunshine. It's quite pleasant at the moment, and he's actually built a small campfire in the garden. Um, he's made sure to turn the earth so he's not burning any grass or anything. Um, but he has constructed a small fire and he is meditating and trying to commune with the fire. He's actually taken some cutlery from the kitchen and put it all around the fire so the metal is being heated by the flame itself. And he's trying to figure out how to commune with the fire. He'll be there for quite some time. Um, he'll try singing to it, um, various things. He's basically, anyone looking outside will see him being very weird, talking to a small campfire.
Eamon will come near him. He may hear while his eyes is closed, he may maybe smell something, and he may hear something being put down near him, and he actually kind of looks at him from distance, trying to understand what he does, because he actually guesses what he does, and he kind of thinks he does wrong,
Hmm.
and he doesn't see anything though. He just wants him to try me because he knows their ways are different.
Yeah. Um, he's yeah, he's going to be sort of doing various things, and eventually, I think he's going to start um, almost dancing around the fire, just sort of an improvised, somewhat awkward dance. And I'll get about halfway round, like, oh, Eamon, hi. Sorry,
I
can I?
brought I brought you some food, man, and tea. You
Oh,
seem you're tired.
thank you. Yeah.
Um, I know that our ways are very different, but fire may not like being whispered.
It offends the spirits to command them.
Oh, hi guys.
Oh, hello,
As
Cordia.
Studio just have a big fucking ass bowl filled with with food in it. There's also, I mean, the other character starts to understand her eating habit, which is I stay in my room for until I'm starving, and then I go back outside to eat,
And then I eat the weight of, and I eat enough for 7 people and go back to my room.
and then starve again.
Eamon says, "Oh, you prepared something as well."
Oh, thank you. Just,
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, that one looks nice though.
Man, I had the weirdest dream.
What was
what
the dream?
happened?
Well, I was studying uh, my alchemy book, and I fell asleep, which makes me realize that I should very much watch out for my chloride, my potassium, and my eating habit and agendas. And that's when I woke up and I had translocated myself into a desert, and then I had to uh, I had to forego all my uh, all my knowledge, uh, my books, my instruments, everything. And I believe the message that I get is that I don't really need boasting, and I'm the one that needs to be turned into gold, and not just lead. I'm the lead, and Plus, I need to return into gold in order to become my own philosopher's stone. And now I'm fucking hungry.
Jack has a sort of fixed smile. He doesn't really understand what you mean. But
You know what? At that point, Beth will also come walking up. Just a beer.
The
bit early, as Jack sips the tea that Eamon brought.
She shrugs. So,
good morning, Beth. This is our
Morning.
friend. She lives with
Oh.
us.
hi. Why were you around the fire? You're not.
Not what?
There's no way of saying.
He's
Not an idiot. I was gonna.
You don't know me well enough to say that. I could be a total idiot. I have communed much with the water, the wind, and the earth. I have never communed much with fire. To be one with the spirits of flame. I am trying to work out how they wish to be most appeased, how one can bond with them, embrace them, be one with them.
Right. Shouldn't you just sacrifice something then?
It's hard
Fire
to
is
find
always
virgins
hungry.
these days.
Fire is always hungry.
Eamon says it's hard to find virgins these
I
days.
thought you said you had a bunch of. I thought you have a bunch of dead squirrels. I'm pretty sure there'll be virgins amongst them. Just toss them in the fire.
What girls we have?
We have a bunch of buried
Squirrels.
squirrels that are like several months old and mostly rotted.
Sure, they'll burn well.
In fact, what Jack will do is take some dry leaves from nearby, or take some. In fact, he'll go over and take some twigs that have fallen off a tree and toss them into the fire. Doesn't seem to work.
If you want, I can try to research through my books.
With respect to your books, this is something more emotional than anything else.
You're right.
I don't wish to be. He stops himself from what he was about to say.
Influenced?
No. He was going to be much more offensive than that.
The Eamon just says, please go say what you want to say.
My ways are not your ways.
He nods.
So this is what you do during a day? You hang around a campfire and sing Kumbaya?
I don't sing Kumbaya. And in fairness, normally I sit in a pond.
You know, that doesn't make it any better.
Well, the pond gave me an axe once, so.
If you want,
I've had a
Beth,
near intimate experience with that axe, yeah.
Yes, it was given to me by a lake, not a pond. But
if you want to learn the basics, Beth, there are some books. Not for just my view, but there's some basic stuff that was left in the Chantry from the past.
I mean, also for present, we put a lot of our books in there.
Yeah, we have a bunch of books, but those usually are from our perspective. So what do you say?
maybe she
You
will be like you.
Hmm.
oh, I'm. We don't know. Maybe she will be like you, man.
If she has started to do what she is doing,
Maybe I'll just be
and the
like
spirits
myself.
do not know of her, then I doubt she will be like me.
You know, it's we're not trying to say that you are like me or him, as in that's your personality, but more as in how you do your magic.
I am afraid that to disappoint you in the idea that there will have been others like you before, there will be others in the world like you. I sincerely doubt or respect that you will have something totally unique. There's quite a lot of us, and some people are very old and quite eccentric. He's thinking of like the
Why?
samurai and the Roman
How come
legionary.
then?
I've heard of us.
As in the normal people?
You've
Uh,
absolutely heard of wizards before, and shamans, and magical priests, and witches, and all these other things.
Those who scream who they are usually gets burned by normal humans.
Hmm.
Now they usually get brainwashed, but Dark Ages were
The
stressful time.
and as I say, people in suits who create the killer robots, they don't like it when we make a scene, and yeah, they will just shoot us or turn us into other killer robots or electrocutors or brainwashers, like Eamon said. Can't imagine it would make the werewolves very happy either, and I don't want one of them to be angry with me.
Are they also like doing this don't fuck around thing?
I mean, I think when you can become like a big, chunky monsters with teeth and claws, I
Yeah,
think generally the gist of it is don't fuck with me.
they're about 3 meters tall,
No,
with claws the length of your finger, and they move faster than you can see.
I have seen them. I was there when we
Yeah.
entered the realm of the spirits. What I'm trying to say is, are they also doing what technocracy does, saying that don't use your powers around or they will come after you?
No, but I imagine it's a little thing that if one person, to use the vernacular, if one person shits the bed, everyone's lying in it.
Mm, I got you. The Would you like to try some stuff for you, Beth? Where like you try to do magic?
Stuff?
You said you can change your color. That means that maybe you can heal yourself as well if you're hurt.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, one in my profession is usually careful enough not to get hurt.
Everyone gets hurt from time to time. It's part of being human. Unless you live in a bubble.
Mm,
If you don't want to try, it's fine, but trying and kind of helps with understanding what you know.
So, what did you have in mind then?
I mean,
Deep down, you will know what you can do, or at least have an approximate idea of what you can do within the logic of how you think you can do it.
so basically, if you
Okay.
can change your hair color, you can also heal yourself. Now, maybe you can, cut your finger a bit and then try to heal yourself to see if you actually can do it or not.
generally something you
Uh,
feel in your guts.
sure. Sure, I can try. Uh, does anyone have a knife?
Eamon kind of like looks at Jack and then like looks at Beth and then thinks to himself is like giving her a knife. Is this a good idea?
I'll go grab a knife from the kitchen. And then, yeah, after a bit, she's gonna hand you over a knife.
We've also got a fire
Okay.
right here.
I mean, also, but
Yeah, fire. Hurts.
well, I mean, generally, I think people feel better to just, scratch their finger rather than putting their hand in the fire.
Also, fires do ag.
Yeah,
So
Good
yeah, you're
idea.
watching me.
Oh, mm, uh, so, uh, looks at her hands, kind of awkward. I don't really like the idea of cutting her myself, but sure. And we'll make like the tiniest of cuts, and you can see like she's not used self. She cringes. Ow! And she'll hand the knife back to Claudia, looking at the blood that sort of kind of probably she cut her in her thumb or something, so it just kind of trickles down her hand onto her wrist, and hmm. Okay. Um, she'll actually walk up to the fire and uh, just shakes some of the blood drops into the flames and kneels down and says, uh, "Spirit of rats, I I don't know. I don't have any inspiration, guys. Wrong time. Help me to return my state of being to what it was before, because they wanted to cut me. Let's see if that is actually enough."
I mean, realistically, you're healing like the most superficial
Yeah.
damage, and you've got a success. It's
Hmm.
not really supposed to, but yeah, like it's insanely superficial. Like what you've done is a tiny cut.
Yeah.
So I think she heals herself.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
She'll wipe the blood off her thumb. She just kind of puts it in her mouth, licks it, and shows her thumb. There.
Cool.
Just like magic.
Well, congratulations.
I don't try to get stabbed too often.
Sorry?
Don't
No,
try
no.
to get stabbed too often.
I wasn't planning on it. Kind of like my skin the way it is.
You'd be surprised at the number of times it happens.
I've never met anyone who
I
planned
can
on being
imagine with
stabbed that much.
idiots with a.
I don't think anyone wakes up planning on being stabbed that morning. Just happens.
So, what can you guys do then?
Jack will
Um,
calmly walk over to the pond and walk into it.
are you going to summon Excalibur?
That would be cool.
Is that actually said out loud?
Actually, yes. Actually, yes. That's a genuine question.
Eamon did say that would be cool out loud as well.
Then, let's say, okay, let's see. And Jack is going to start. He's going to take his axe out and he's going to start swirling the surface of a circle in the water, and then he's going to start sort of rhythmically trying to splash it, almost like he's trying to drum upon the water and beating his feet on the bottom, although you can't see it as well. Can someone please pass me one of the knives in the fire?
Eamon does pass the fire.
He'll drop it in the middle of this drummed thing. I'm going to make some rolls. Does anyone mind me making a charisma elemental law roll to reduce the difficulty of this? There is no ST present. I'm going to do it anyway. One success. Two, three. He'll do this for a bit, and actually, out of the water, from the water itself, will emerge a sword made out of living water. In fairness, Claudia and Eamon saw him do something not entirely dissimilar recently.
But this is more shiny.
Well, firstly, it's water, and then it will slowly shift into rock and then steel before he stops, and it plunges back into the water.
So, does that makes you the rightful heir to England?
Albion, rightful heir of the Britain, I think.
That wasn't it wasn't particularly fancy looking sword, I will say. It looked very, very rough.
I know, but it's a jest.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, No.
But it's a cool
Maybe.
trick.
It's not a trick.
As in, it's a cool magic.
The waters and the earth give me many gifts.
Hmm. That's cool.
So yes, Beth,
Always has a cool factor.
that is what I can do.
Cool, I guess. She's trying to sound not impressed, but she's impressed. You know.
If she's trying to hide it, do you want to just make the subterfuge roll?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not going to roll perception empathy because Jack doesn't particularly care and isn't paying that much, like whether she's impressed or not. It just
Eamon-
is. He knows it's impressive. You can act like you're not impressed, but you were freaked out by everything that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
He's well aware of what he's just done.
Eamon will roll.
Wow. That's 4 successes of trying to say.
Guess she looks thoroughly bored.
Eamon is surprised that
she's-
she looks bored.
She's basically just trying to pretend that this is all like, sort of normal.
Hmm. I mean, I think, to be fair, even without a perception empathy roll, everyone can just tell. Like, you just saw something genuinely insane, and you were surprised by some of the more basic stuff yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, totally.
Like,
Like, I mean, you guys don't have to believe that she's
no.
not impressed because she's, yeah. This is all very new, so
Hmm.
Eamon looks at Claudia. You're gonna show what you can do.
Okay. He's going to look around for a bit, and be like, fuck it. She's going to get her hand in one of her pouch she carries, and she's going to gather what seems to be some type of metal, and then she will draw some symbols, some symbols in the dirt, starting to make complex geometric design, and will put down the metal nugget, and she is going to do the very basic Alchemist 101. She's going to turn that shit into gold.
Ooh.
Always go with the money.
The classics are classic for a reason.
The classic is a classic, and also
yeah.
with that, I can buy food. Which
I mean,
I cannot buy food. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, and he will continue her small ritual as she concentrate, and yeah, she once she put her hand on the nugget, there's probably a smell of ammonia and burnt and burnt stone. And as she just throws the nuggets as at Beth. Don't spend it too much. It's a nugget of gold.
She'll catch it. Look at it. There's no way that she's going to be able to pretend that this is not awesome. It's cold, man. She's a thief. What do you want? And like, she's just gonna hold it in her hands, and so you can do this like how often per day?
He's not a D&D monster.
What's the
Well, well, mostly that depends on the influx of my stocks of different type of metal. I haven't tried yet to put a transformation and transfiguration of other type of material, but mostly I am able to produce, but I do not want to do too much, otherwise I would imbalance the economy. Basically, more or less things that are needed, otherwise I might even lose my touch.
Or explode.
Probably also that. I did explode the first time.
What?
I'll allow Eamon to demonstrate his power, and then we can have the conversation about responsibility.
I think I will take a few steps back.
Yes. Jack will also step back before Eamon is going to do his thing.
I don't understand why you guys are stepping. I'm not going to throw a fireball.
I mean, it's.
I'm sorry.
It's
Well,
kind of
Jack's all wet, so if you throw a lightning bolt, it might hit him.
Yeah. It's also like I'm not throwing lightning bolt as well. I actually
Not
was
take over.
thinking
There's,
what I,
so Beth is gonna step back as well.
I'm quite surprised, and like I'm trying to think what I can do to show without being so aggressive. But I was thinking, but like also I was thinking like maybe I can do the trick that I was working. But we need a gun, and I don't want like if it fails, I don't want anyone to shoot me. So let's keep that for later.
I made a sword. Like, this is just show off. Whip it out and wave it around.
No. Let's try to write Bet's name with fire. As he pulls his wand and he waits for a second and like he's thinking about what to say. And he takes a deep breath and in a very not very intimidating because he can't be that intimidating, but in a very ordering tone, he basically says obey. Which I was told by the SDs, Enochian isn't a language anymore. Therefore,
Enochian was never a true language.
Yeah.
It's something intrinsically more than that. Even the demon talks about how Enochian is in part there's verbalizations, but as much of it is in the vibration of atoms themselves.
Therefore, like I'm trying to come up with like a cool saying.
I mean, what you're trying to do is make the fire appear out of the end of your wand, and then you're just waving it the right way.
No, I'm basically flaring the fire to write something with the fire. Imagine like fire moving and then like slowly writing something.
Yeah. Surely then, even then, the efficient thing to do is to gather it to your wand and write it in the air.
Yeah.
Like a sparkler.
No, I know. I'm trying to come up with something that he would say. other than just obey.
Just some composite of flame, gather, language.
Yeah, he he starts ordering
Well,
to the flame, basically firstly saying that I know you can hear me, as the 100th sun resides within me. Hear me and obey. And then he waves his wand very slowly to move the flame up. Let's see if he can do it. You found the time to download stuff. Uh, difficulty is 4, thanks to beautiful wand. Can you guys see the dice roll?
we can't see the roll yet. It's just being slow.
It's being very slow.
We did this the other day.
No, with one success, barely he can finish the word B. And then the fire returns where it was.
I mean, that looked substantially less impressive compared to the gold, you know. So so you got yourself a magical light.
Eamon, I understand that you don't want to scare the poor girl, but
Yeah, you're right. He turns and throws a fireball. It's like
Throws a firebolt at Beth.
like you like said it to the wrong person. It's like he heard that, and then in half word of Jack, he turns, and then like he says this, like he holds his hand, and then like waves the wand behind him, and then like just throws with his like big hand gesture. It's angry. The gesture is angry. It is aggressive, but not towards Beth. Like there's this like, I think it was said to me there was this other guy who's in the Chantry played by Carl as an NPC, and he had this like things that the training dummies.
yeah.
So he's gonna throw that the training dummy. And thanks to you, Saskia, I'm gonna spend the willpower. Difficulty 5.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you've already got the fire there. If you're pulling it from the flame,
Oh, that's actually right. I'm gonna
then it's
pull it
difficulty
through.
4. Well, it depends if you want
Yeah.
to pull it from the flame or summon it from the flame from within yourself.
I'm gonna summon it from the flame from myself. I'm gonna spend 1 quintessence. Now I have 4. I'm gonna spend 1 quintessence to make this difficulty. Now it's 5, right?
So it will be base 5 because of your wand. Well, base 6, 5 from your wand. If you spent that second quintessence, because you need 1 to create the flame, and then the second point of quintessence would lower it to difficulty 4.
I will just not spend a quintessence because we don't have a lot.
We have loads, dude. 7 per week.
Okay, then I will spend, which makes it again 4. I spend the willpower as well. I have coming. I have 3, 4, which is 8 ag.
Yep.
So Bet just saw like Eamon like she said like, yeah, you have a magical lighter, and then he like the Jack says like, I don't want this, and he just turned and they'll just throw a fireball. It's like
The target dummy has bits flying off it and a loud explosion.
And then he turns to looks at Beth. You were saying?
Okay, he's being cocky. She's gonna try to say, "Oh, that lighter is like, you know, not that big," or something like that. But with 2 successes of trying to hide that she has, like, the lump that she has in her throat at that. Oh yeah, you can see that. She says, compensating for something.
He's
I don't know. Are you?
Why would I?
Because you're new and you're in a world you don't understand.
Thank
And you just saw someone with a word and emotion flick an explosion that literally will just kill someone. I've seen him do it multiple times.
She is.
I've never seen someone survive, which I think is true, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen someone survive Aemon's fireball. No. Yeah.
No.
He's always one shot people.
Either like he like does a damage or one shots people. But usually those people ends up getting killed. And he says, "Thank you, Jack, but I'm sure that she is just hiding her own feelings."
Oh yeah.
I think she likes to pretend that she's not impressed.
I think the other word for impressed for what you do, Eamon, is somewhat terrified.
Oh, well done.
Well,
Shoot, Fletch.
The first part of it is something within yourself. We can't tell you your path. Sometimes it's hard to find. For me, it took years. For some, it's easy. Eamon, I understand, was more or less born to his.
This is the first time I think he says. Which give me 2 seconds. I need to check something. Apologies for making people wait.
No.
But Eamon says, after taking a deep breath, I'm using my ancestors' inherent mystic wisdom. He's right. I'm born into a family who is wizards, who are wizards, and there were some of us who lacks the knowledge. I knew, not from the day one, but when I'm able to understand, I was explained that such magic in the world does exist, and some of the stories that my mother was reading to me when I was a young kid was my dad's stories. So I was hoping that those things would be real, but then I learned that they were real. They refused to share everything from the beginning, but then I learned bits by bits.
The point is, there is not a way that is easy. They are all hard in their own way. But I cannot tell you what it is.
I think that there's like every single one of them requires a walk that goes high upon a mountain, which sometimes you fall on your knees and try to get up, or basically fall to your face. I have seen Jack spending a lot of hours near the pond or near the fire. Not near the fire that much, but near the pond.
It's not near the fire, no, but on the bare earth. And
I know Claudia basically doesn't leave her room until she gets hungry. All I can say.
Eamon spends much time in study. The ancient wisdoms. And Syl spends most of her free time in prayer.
This all sounds incredibly boring. No offense.
It is what it is. It is. Once again, I can't speak for the others. I can say what it appears, though. Nothing feels quite as good as using magic.
Once you get used to it, it becomes.
I mean, practice makes it perfection. Just by
So
trial
there's
and
no
errors.
quick.
I mean,
There's no quick way of. Or,
I mean, there has to be a quick way, otherwise there wouldn't be legends of selling your souls for powers. But generally, according to Faustian tales, it generally ends pretty badly.
I have not heard of any successful shortcuts. But above all, even if there were, with respect, Beth, just without wanting to cast too much judgment, there is another important lesson which we can't portray here, and I don't think any three of us really want to go and try, which is one of responsibility. And I'm not talking about Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility.
I mean, it's like that though.
What we did is in defiance of the laws of nature. We all know it. We're all aware that
why?
because this is a safe space, this house and its gardens. We know of some other safe spaces. But if you go out into the street and try and do it, reality objects very literally. And if you do things in defiance of the natural order of things too much, or something too radical, reality will crush you and you literally explode.
I have saw someone.
Oh, did he see Noska die?
He saw.
Noska Nava.
He saw the death of the Chrissy's old character.
Oh yeah, you did.
It is very painful. So yeah, being responsible is one of those important things. When you strike at reality, sometimes reality strikes back.
And another reason why wizards don't rule the world.
Okay, so I don't really. Yeah, never mind.
Go on and ask. You won't learn without asking.
Well, I'm more thinking like, why is this against nature? Because we're like superhumans?
I think there's a lot of people that spend a lot of time debating exactly. I mean, if you believe you're superhuman, maybe you are. I am not a superhuman. Either way, it's a complicated question that people a great deal more experienced and talented than us spend an awful lot of time in debate over. The answer is it simply is. He looks to Claudia and Eamon to see if they disagree with that assessment of why is the consensus.
Eamon nods because oh, see, I don't know a lot of knowledge about this.
Mhm. I think it's explicitly stated that it's a point of great debate amongst the highest levels of House Bonsages.
Hmm.
It's like the definitive question of magic is why does the consensus exist? Huh.
But upon the subject of shortcuts, there is a shortcut.
Oh.
Eyebrow
And
raised.
Eyebrow
Mm-hmm.
raised.
it's it's a common sense thing that it's about listening those who has greater knowledge.
Isn't that one of the rules?
He nods. That's what my mentor once told me.
Best pouts.
Nozen is literally one of the rules of Shade.
Exactly.
One of the rules of the mages. Yeah. Sorry.
He told me my uncle, who is a bit strange but good in heart. He said that the best shortcut is sometimes listening and try and sometimes listening your heart. This is why I kind of wanted to push you, because the things we actually say is the shortcut. The long journey that we're talking about it's the
He's not wrong.
Mm.
I have learnt more in the past year of listening and having ventured than years looking for myself, searching for answers that didn't make sense.
Hmm. So you guys are gonna be my teachers.
I mean, ultimately, the teaching part is more on to you, as they have
We
said. Everyone has a unique take on things. So, while I might make a discourse regarding the principles of alchemy and how the four elements commune with each other, that will probably only speaks to me, maybe a bit to Eamon. To you, it might not. Ultimately, we can only guide you, give you ideas,
I can
but
help you. Yes.
Eamon. Eamon kind of wants to say like you don't deserve it yet, but he thinks that's kind of rude. So he
If
shuts his mouth.
if you wish to commune with the spirits, I can aid you with that. But I cannot make the spirits listen to you or respect you. Sylve can pray with you, but she cannot force anything to answer.
I guess. This sounds all very theoretical. I'm not the best person when it comes to like theoretical stuff, you know.
Less theoretical. Mine is very much doesn't re. It's not about theory. It's introspective. This
While
stage.
I think there's, I have seen Jack and Sylv do great things with their emotions. When we were in trouble, they have achieved great stuff. And I have seen them. I'm not saying their calmness isn't needed in their magic, but I think from what I understand, there is difference in some magic that needs emotion and um, too much physical action. It Eamon seems to be like very trying hard to like and not like insult anybody. It's just like he doesn't know how Jack's thing works, so he tries to explain like when he says physical action. But to me, you're right. It's too much reading. There's a lot of things in details, and then you miss one detail, boom. I'm not saying
I thought
Jack's
in your
doesn't have.
case, boom was good.
That's the process of study,
Mm-hmm.
theory, understanding of principles and axioms. And I looked at one of Jack's books and it barely made sense. And the chapter for what he just did was around 100 pages long. Had a lot of diagrams.
Every single movement of my body when I throw the fireball needs to be a specific thing that I do. I can't just throw a fireball through my mouth.
Okay, so basically what you guys are saying is, hey, you're here and you should do mostly what I already did. Just try and find stuff in a way that fits me.
More or less. And then we can help you to push that. We know some very powerful people.
Who won't like this attitude?
What attitude?
Evan Love might like it.
Evan, pardon, Eamon shrugs. He doesn't know Evan, but like his view of traditions is like view of how he sees Hermetic order, because they all must be same, right? Like he doesn't think all of the same, but like he thinks like a pride probably exists in all of them. So he thinks like Bet's attitude may piss them off because it's kind of pisses Eamon off. There's one thing I see. I want to invite you all.
Of course.
Me, this may sound a bit strange. It's certainly actually going to sound strange. Other than the family problem that I wanted to find out, Jack, there's there's another invitation that I want to give every single member of the Chantry.
Hmm.
I want to build something for myself. A staff that will help me prove my worth. I don't want to accept roll me perception empathy, everyone, because I don't know if you guys want to roll, but like if you guys are closely watching him, there's
Jack,
something there.
Jack is, as this is getting to, as this is starting to become a bit of a touchy issue.
Mm-hmm.
4 successes.
Mm-hmm. He is
Come on,
having hard time explain this.
Discord.
He doesn't know would they understand or would they like he is thinking like would they misunderstand me?
We see everything.
Yeah, there's like he's
Mhm.
having trouble coming up with the right words. And then he says, I don't want to take some offers for granted. I think that I think we as a group have done many things that would surprise others, and we shouldn't be simply dismissed out of hand as orphans. But I also know that the some people may just dismiss our accomplishments. Therefore, I kind of wanted to do something for myself that would make those people acknowledge at least my and at the same time our accomplishments. The thing I want to build is a staff, as I said, but every staff needs to be different. I don't want just a metal piece of metal to be my staff. I want to find a stone. According to my readings, there is a thing called a firestone, and it goes well with the bones of a dragon. Therefore, I am inviting you all to finding those things. Maybe this will be a weird adventure, and hopefully, we will find things for you guys as well.
I have no idea where to start looking for a dragon. But my quest with fire, I'd happily try and find a firestone. I think we could both benefit from that. I need to get closer to the flames anyway.
I know I'm like new and everything, so I don't really have much of a say. But what's an orphan and what the fuck? I mean,
That
I
are
don't know what you're talking about.
so most mages in the world who are not part of the killer robot people are organized into a group called the Council of the Nine Mystic Traditions. Their term for people who are not in a tradition is an orphan. We are orphans.
Okay.
Hopefully not for too much longer.
So basically, you're trying to prove to the sort of government-ish thing that you guys are kick-ass.
That is what Eamon is trying to do, yes.
I kind of
Cool.
recently my uncle has told me that my powers have grown without his help, and I should immediately enter the order that my family is known for. That was my biggest dream in the past, but not now. I think if I come this far without their help, why not do more? Now I realize that this comes from my needs, but also I want to say dragon bones and scales may help every single one of us in different ways. Sacrificing offerings may
You really
make.
want to
I really want to do what?
go on kill dragon, like the
If
dragon?
if we find a dead one, surely that would be better for every single one of us.
I think the chances of that
What
are fairly low.
what I'll tell you in all honesty, Eamon, I'll help you with all of the other bits. Killing a dragon, that we'll deal with when the time comes. I've never seen a dragon. I've never heard of one in real life. I'm sure they exist. We both know we've seen enough weird stuff. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. That's the part I have more reservations about. Also, it may just be suicidal. Is that fair?
It is. It may be very suicidal. You're completely right.
But I mean, Firestone is pretty reasonable.
That is, and the metal of the staff, I'm more than happy to help with.
The If you guys have a better, reasonable monster that would help us, I am listening. Maybe a drake.
I think the issue comes into what exactly is a monster, what's real, and what are we capable of,
He knows.
and what can we find.
Hmm. All right, I'm gonna go back to my room and work.
Good night, Claudia. Oh,
Night.
sorry. Good day, Claudia.
Good night, player.
Yeah.
Do you have any goals that you want to achieve, Jack? That I can help?
My challenge for the Kavadi is a different obstacle to the one you face. And with respect, I can't imagine you'd be much help.
Oh, you already got your challenge.
No,
Oh.
when they said what the initial issue will be with me even getting a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm white. Theirs is the tradition of shamans and spirit talkers,
Okay.
medicine men.
I don't mean to be rude, but people can change their appearance. Surely a color doesn't mean a shit with like people.
Colored
Like,
may
It is
not.
not my
No,
appearance,
super.
it is the fact that I'm not going to join a tradition, a group that I, to be honest, revere through deception. I doubt that I would actually be successful. I could probably, with time and study, not look like a white man, but I still would be.
I wasn't saying
still
that you
am.
should deceive them or something,
The
but
issue
you could just explain that,
is not the
right?
superficial.
Like,
The issue is 450 years of atrocity, of genocide.
hmm,
That is the issue.
okay.
It's one that I thoroughly understand them having with me. I'm sure I'd sympathize in their position. I simply have to demonstrate good faith. But aside from that, no. Communing more with the fire and obtaining some favor from the earth spirits as I gain the favors of the water. These are my aims for the moment. In the one from the air. It may be that have to go to a volcano or some mountains or something, and if we do, I'd love to have you come along.
There's one thing I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this may be the way that you wish to enter, but this is something to keep in mind.
Yep.
There's a lot of politics, as much as we understand or not. But even in my family, there's a lot of politics. Some uncle doesn't like the distant uncle, and they just do dumb stuff to each other. I think this exists in the societies that we wish to enter. If people is just gonna look back and not gonna have you as an apprentice just because what your color is. I think that we may try to, in the future, if this happens, and again, I'm just saying, we may have to like come some kind of a favor from someone up and up high to have you initiated. Those things will
Maybe.
come with this. Like I know that this is probably not the way that you want to enter, but I
I
would be
think
very
it's
unhappy if you can't enter via just because who you are, because I think that you will be good as a dream speaker from what
I
I
think that
understand
is
in that area.
very easy for us to say as straight white men. Speaking from a position of privilege, I don't want to get into a favor. I want
Yeah,
them to accept me.
it's not just like favor, go right ahead, get this guy in, but like like I just want to explain myself again. I know that you don't want to enter this way, but it's like this. I call a favor, give this guy a chance.
I'll
He
see
raised
what I
his
can
hand.
do.
I really apologize if this is like offensive.
We'll see what happens when I meet them. Say, there are some in Whistle Stop. Hopefully, I can go there, maybe even this week. And then, maybe when Beth has shown what she wants to do and good faith all round, we can show her Whistle Stop. It's like the circle of life.
It's like only when I figured out what I want to do. Gee.
The main reason to go is to talk to the traditions.
We can
Also,
tell
with
Okay,
you.
so
respect,
how do I learn more about these
you're
traditions?
you're new and you spent a lot of the day being quite sarcastic. In terms of learning about the traditions, we can explain them, or at least the short version. Um, the let's say a certain amount of it is you becoming as part of our group. With respect, you'd reflect on us with some very important people.
So sit up and behave, huh?
Or just shows of good faith all around.
Hmm.
I'm curious. Is it too much of us to ask
What?
to show respect?
These are all offers from us. We're not compelling you to do anything.
Yeah, like
You can leave, say goodbye. We'll never bother you again.
No, I mean I get that. It's just
You
how
seem
am I not being?
very honest. Would you like me to be very honest as well?
Sure, bring it.
It seems that you don't. I'm not going to say appreciate because that word is a bit strange. I think that you are acting defensively for the people that you don't know, and we kind of don't know you as well. So there, I think Jack's reason of saying that when you learn a bit more is like he said, when we're gonna go there, you kind of will be with us, and we are new, and we don't want to lose this based on what we see as a ticking time bomb. because your gestures, sarcasm seems like paints you as a ticking time bomb. And Eamon kind of looks at Jack like, "Am I being too rude?"
No. Jack's like, no. It's blunt, but it's true.
So, I
Bear in mind, in order to get access to this, we all bled. We saw a friend die. Sylv almost died.
I wouldn't be here without Jack and Sylv. Therefore, any threats to them, I take extremely seriously, Beth.
No. We've all saved each other's lives here. I've seen
So-
Eamon face down a monster the size of a truck.
So, you guys want me to prove something?
No. You seem offensive,
Prove
aggressive.
prove good faith is all we need.
Exactly.
Frankly, as say, I understand you don't know us. Everything got off on the wrong foot, but you broke into our house. Were evasive and then went into a berserker frenzy. I'd love nothing more than to start afresh, build from there. If you're happy to meet me halfway.
Yes. If we can start fresh. Because,
I'm just
quite
not
frankly,
a really very good people person thing. I don't.
I am afraid. Well,
So,
you're in a line of, let's call it in your new career, where when you get the hang of this, you can just. I like Claudia. She's nice, but you can just seclude yourself in a laboratory all day and talk to people a couple of times a week, and no one will think you're strange. If you don't want to be a people person.
but sure, we can try anew. Hi, I'm new here. Who are you guys?
Pleasure, Jack.
my name has not been, as you heard, it's Eamon.
I'd completely forgotten you'd given a straight name, and we've been
Mhm.
calling you Eamon the whole day.
It's fine. He didn't give a shit. That's fine.
Beth is. She's silent for a moment and then. I'm Lena.
Pleasure to meet you, Lena.
Eamon nods his head.
And this is just weird, okay? I just thought I was the fucking only one, and now there's a bunch of others and all doing weird things. I just.
I'm afraid that no one is ever as special as they think they are.
Well, way to break that illusion.
It's a sad thing for everyone to learn, but there's a lot of wonder to be had going forwards. There's literally another world that exists just beyond ours. You'll do things that you never
like
even
Hogwarts, say.
No, well, yes. That's not what I meant.
What did she say? Sorry.
Like Hogwarts.
Eamon kind of gets like frustrated whenever Hogwarts is mentioned. He kind of like puts his hand to his face, rubs his head.
She totally didn't do that on purpose.
For Eamon's birthday, one day, totally gonna get him a Hogwarts tie. It's like a birthday present. More than that, there's a spirit world.
Yeah, I heard you mentioning something like that.
You can enter
To
it.
be fair, I know that, but
It's how I knew that Rat never heard of you.
yeah, that kind of hurts.
Do you wish we can try and speak to Rat?
Yeah, that would be cool. I guess. But yeah, that would be cool.
Another time. Will require going to the most important part of the whole Chantry. Just so you're aware. I'm doing something that I've not really tried
That is
before. The source of its power. We call it the node.
this place has power.
A lot.
How does that work?
It's not like electricity. We were talking about magical.
No, I kind of got that.
Gotcha.
I mean, I presumed you guys have electricity.
Well,
It's
yeah, and Wi-Fi and everything. Like,
What's the password for the Wi-Fi?
it's on the back of the wireless box. Who learns their Wi-Fi password off the top of
Okay.
their head?
Hey, some people just did.
Also, because I imagine it was set
Could
by
have been Hocus
Nausicaa.
Pocus 01.
It was set by Nausicaa, so it's probably not there. It's probably some like cryptic puzzle that only she knows the answer to.
I'm sure
Or
like
I can imagine.
or burrito.
It's like Glitter told us we couldn't solve the puzzle the first five days.
Yeah.
Like fucking hell, I want to check my Facebook.
Yeah. So yeah. So you can do that then. So we'll speak to Rat. Maybe that will help provide some answers for you.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like he was literally there. I'm not crazy. I thought I was at first, but then something had just changed, you know?
Like I say, it may be a complicated road. We'll get you answers eventually. If you can meet us halfway.
Well, I'm here. Am I not?
No, that one it's about how you need to do a lot of thinking about what you think magic is.
Oh. I mean, okay, sure.
Nice and straightforward. Anyway, I must return to communing with the fire.
You make good soups, Beth?
If you want to be poisoned in the first few attempts, sure.
Yeah, I
Sylv is actually a good cook.
She's
If
praying.
you
I
want
can
to
do-
add your name, however, to the cleaning rota, that would not go amiss. It's pinned to the fridge.
Oh boy. It's like prep school all over again, eh?
Do you like your tea with milk?
I don't do tea.
That's the wrong answer. But let's go. Let's leave Jack alone and let him try to do
Surely
his thing.
you can show me this library of yours, I guess, if I have to spend my time here anyway.
Just as you're going away, Jack will once again say, "There is no have to."
Eamon kind of was like taken back by have to, and he says, like he says, I don't have to.
If you would want to.
No, if you would want to. And don't say
Can
that.
you show me the library or not?
Eamon, his hand goes to his head again. He rubs his head. Yes, I can.
Cool. And I think that would be a good place to end the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This was another scene of Living World of Darkness, Mage Venue. Have a pleasant evening.